Did you know? While sleeping, an older adult can suddenly suffer a stroke, a heart attack, or even irreversible memory loss, without anyone noticing in time. When night falls, we often think it's a time for rest and recovery, but for seniors, sleeping the wrong way could be the beginning of a tragedy. According to the latest data from the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, over 70,000 seniors die in their sleep every year. And in many cases, it's caused by seemingly harmless habits we repeat night after night. It sounds terrifying, but it's true. And what's even more dangerous is that many people are unknowingly making these deadly mistakes. So take a close look at the 8 sleep mistakes listed below and ask yourself, are you making any of them? Catching these early might just save your life or the life of someone you love. But before we dive in, take a moment to leave a positive affirmation in the comments below, something that reflects your intention to live well. For example, I choose to live healthy and stay aware every day. Say whatever feels right to you, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any future content like this. Let's create a space full of positive energy where we grow together, live longer, and stay healthier. So what are these seemingly small mistakes that quietly drain your health and might even endanger your life while sleeping? Let's start with one of the most common yet dangerous ones. Number 1. Sleeping in the wrong position. Mr. Raymond, 76 years old, was a former Marine. Strong, disciplined, and always kept a tidy lifestyle. For years, he slept on his back because it felt comfortable and he was used to it. That was until one night, he woke up in a panic, short of breath, heart racing, and head spinning. After seeing a doctor, he was diagnosed with sleep apnea, a dangerous condition he had never even heard of. And the cause, his regular sleeping position. Here's the truth. When you sleep on your back, gravity pulls your tongue and the soft tissues in your throat backward, narrowing your airway. This is especially risky for older adults because neck muscles weaken over time, the lungs become less elastic, and the heart has to work harder during sleep. Even sleeping on your right side can worsen acid reflux, put pressure on the heart, and increase the risk of chest pain, heart failure, or arrhythmias at night. What's even more alarming is this. During deep sleep, your brain performs a process of detox, flushing out harmful proteins linked to Alzheimer's and memory loss. But if your airway is blocked, less oxygen reaches the brain, the flow of cerebrospinal fluid slows down, and this natural cleaning process is disrupted. Over time, toxic protein plaques build up in the brain, and memory fades away like an old, unrecoverable film reel. Sleep experts recommend training yourself to sleep on your left side. It improves circulation, reduces pressure on the heart, aids digestion, and allows the brain to clean itself more effectively. If you find it hard to adjust, try placing a soft pillow between your knees, using a firm neck pillow, and slightly elevating the head of your bed by 4 to 6 inches, approximately 10 to 15 centimeters. These small changes can help shift your posture safely and comfortably. Number 2. Getting up too quickly after waking. Mrs. Margaret, 81, lives alone in a small apartment. One cold winter morning, she was awakened by the sound of her phone ringing. She quickly sat up and stepped out of bed, but suddenly lost balance and collapsed onto the freezing floor. By the time her daughter found her, she had been unconscious for over 40 minutes. What followed was weeks in the hospital with a fractured pelvis and a traumatic brain injury. Sadly, what happened to Margaret isn't rare. Many older adults experience a condition called orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when moving too quickly from lying down to sitting or standing. The brain doesn't get enough blood fast enough, leading to dizziness, imbalance, or fainting. This becomes even more serious at night or early morning, when cold temperatures cause blood vessels to constrict and reduce circulation. For seniors with weak hearts, poor circulation, or those on blood pressure medication, the risks are even higher. Falls that happen right after waking up can have devastating consequences: hip fractures, brain injuries, or even bleeding in the brain, turning an independent life into one of long-term bed rest, or worse, a vegetative state. The saddest part is that all of this is preventable with just a few seconds of caution. Here's what to do instead. Train yourself to roll onto your side. Slowly push yourself up with your arms and sit there for a few seconds. This allows your blood to circulate properly before standing up. Then gently massage your arms and legs. Take a sip of warm water to stimulate circulation, and only then step out of bed slowly. Placing a small nightlight and a pair of non-slip slippers right next to the bed is also a simple yet powerful safety step. It prevents fumbling in the dark, where one wrong step could start a painful, life-changing journey. Number 3. Drinking too much water before bed. Helen was someone who really cared about her health. She had always heard the advice: drink plenty of water every day. It helps the kidneys, keeps the skin glowing, and slows aging. So even on her busiest days, she made sure to drink a large glass of water right before bed to make up for it. But night after night, she kept waking up to use the bathroom. And gradually she began to feel more and more exhausted. Then one night, rushing to the restroom half asleep, she slipped on the cold floor, breaking her wrist and bruising her knee badly. It wasn't just a random fall. It was the result of a series of well-meaning but misguided habits. When we drink too much water late at night, especially right before bed, our body is forced to process the excess through the bladder. This leads to more nighttime trips to the bathroom, which not only interrupts deep sleep, but also introduces serious risks. Waking up in the dark, when your body hasn't fully adjusted and your blood pressure is still low, can cause dizziness, loss of balance, or even sudden fainting, especially in older adults with cardiovascular or circulatory issues. Some seniors also experience something called nocturia, frequent nighttime urination due to hormonal changes or declining kidney function with age. Interrupted sleep night after night means the brain never gets to fully rest, leading to daytime fatigue, brain fog, and even a higher risk of dementia. So how can we stay well hydrated without disturbing our sleep? The solution is simple. Timing is everything. Make sure to drink plenty of water during the day, especially before 6 p.m. After that, start tapering off. If you're thirsty later in the evening, just take a few small sips instead of a full glass. Avoid diuretic beverages like tea, coffee, or alcohol at night. And if you need to take medication late at night, speak with your doctor to see if adjustments are needed. Number 4. Ignoring snoring, sleep apnea, or chronic insomnia. Lewis, 68, was often teased by friends who called him a chainsaw because of how loudly he snored. His wife had gotten used to nudging him awake at night whenever he would stop breathing for a few seconds and then gasp loudly for air. They both thought it was normal, just part of sleeping deeply. But over time, Louis began to forget things. He seemed less sharp, even dozing off during meals. Eventually, a sleep study confirmed he had moderate to severe sleep apnea, a common but often overlooked condition. Throughout the night, he would stop breathing dozens, even hundreds of times. Each time, his body went into survival mode, heart racing, brain on high alert, trying to keep him awake just enough to breathe again. And yet, he had no idea this was happening. This isn't just about bad sleep. Studies show that untreated sleep apnea increases the risk of heart attacks by 30% and strokes by up to 60%. It also contributes to high blood pressure, diabetes, depression, and accelerated memory loss, because the brain is constantly starved of oxygen and rest. At the same time, chronic insomnia is another silent threat. As we age, our bodies produce less melatonin, the natural hormone that regulates sleep. Many seniors don't realize this, and when they struggle to sleep, they often turn to sleeping pills as a quick fix. But when used incorrectly, these medications can cause dependency, confusion, dizziness, and dangerous nighttime falls. The answer isn't to tough it out or stay silent. Get evaluated at a sleep center. Depending on your condition, doctors may recommend a CPAP machine, a breathing aid that keeps airways open throughout the night. In addition, lifestyle changes like losing weight, breathing exercises, cutting out alcohol, or doing calming yoga before bed can all make a big difference. Number 5. Eating late dinners or midnight snacks. Walter had a habit that seemed harmless. After dinner, he would relax in front of the TV and enjoy a few cookies, or sometimes a little ice cream or a small bag of chips. Just a little treat, he'd say. But soon, he began waking up in the middle of the night, feeling a burning sensation in his throat, a racing heart, and sometimes shortness of breath that forced him to sit up gasping. Once, he even felt a heavy pressure on his chest, like someone was sitting on him. After a medical checkup, the doctor told him he was experiencing acid reflux during sleep, along with elevated nighttime blood sugar levels, two conditions that can lead to serious complications if left unchecked. And the culprit, those small harmless snacks. Your body needs time to digest food. When you eat too late, especially sugary, greasy, or salty foods, your stomach is forced to work overtime just as your body is trying to rest. As a result, stomach acid can flow back into the esophagus, causing heartburn, choking, or in severe cases, entering the airways and leading to aspiration pneumonia, a dangerous and often hidden risk for seniors. Late-night eating also spikes blood sugar, forcing the pancreas to release more insulin. Over time, this repeated stress can reduce insulin sensitivity, pushing you closer to type 2 diabetes, the silent disease that quietly affects every major organ in the body. Another concern is high blood pressure at night, especially if your dinner is rich in salt or saturated fat. Nighttime hypertension is a key risk factor for stroke during sleep. A nightmare scenario, particularly for those living alone. The solution? Time your last meal wisely. Eat dinner at least 3 hours before bedtime and keep it light, low in sugar, salt, and fat. Avoid spicy foods, fried dishes, desserts, soda, and alcohol. Number 6. Taking medications at the wrong time. Donald was a stickler for routine. He never missed a dose of his blood pressure meds, and even set alarms to remind himself daily. But recently, he started feeling lightheaded, confused, and once even found himself standing in the kitchen in the middle of the night with no memory of how he got there. Then came a fall in the bathroom. It wasn't until the doctor reviewed his schedule that they found the issue wasn't the medication itself, but when he was taking it. Older adults often have slower metabolism. The liver and kidneys, key organs responsible for processing and clearing medication, don't work as efficiently with age. So when strong medications are taken at night, like sleeping pills, sedatives, or blood pressure meds, the body may not be able to break them down in time. As a result, the drug builds up in the bloodstream, leading to lingering drowsiness, daytime confusion, slow reflexes, and a higher chance of falling. Sedatives can also dull alertness during the night, just when seniors may need to get up to use the bathroom or respond to emergencies. There have been too many tragic incidents caused by a poorly timed sleeping pill or an unchecked medication routine. Some blood pressure meds, if taken at night without proper guidance, can cause blood pressure to drop too low during sleep, reducing blood flow to the brain, triggering dizziness or even loss of consciousness upon waking. The key? Never adjust medication schedules on your own. What works for one person might be too much or too little for someone else, especially as we age. Always consult your doctor about the timing of each prescription, especially for medications that affect the brain, heart, or blood pressure. Whenever possible, prioritize natural sleep aids like calming herbal teas, chamomile or lemon honey, relaxation meditation, or soft music. These habits are not only safer, but they help improve sleep in the long run. Remember, medication is a double-edged sword. Used correctly, it heals. Used wrong, it harms. Let it be your helper, not a hidden danger waiting to strike in the middle of the night. Number 7. Sleeping in an overly warm room. Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell lived in a small home where summer nights were often hot and stuffy. Like many older adults who fear the cold, they kept all the windows shut, used thick blankets, and even ran a small heater at night, even when the outside temperature was already warm. Lately, Mr. Mitchell had been waking up in the middle of the night, feeling drained, cold sweats, heart racing. Meanwhile, his wife complained of poor sleep and worsening memory. The truth is, sleeping in a room that's too warm can throw off the body's natural balance. It disrupts sleep, puts strain on the heart, and weakens the immune system. When we fall asleep, our internal body temperature needs to drop slightly in order to enter deep, restorative sleep, the kind that repairs cells, consolidates memory, and regulates emotions. But if the room is too hot, the body's cooling system can't function properly. That can lead to dehydration, disrupted temperature regulation, and nighttime awakenings, especially common in seniors. Excessive night sweats, for instance, may be a red flag, not just an inconvenience. For older adults with underlying heart conditions, sleeping in a hot room can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, as the heart must work overtime to regulate body temperature. The immune system also takes a hit, making you more vulnerable to infections, pneumonia, or unexplained colds. The solution? Keep the bedroom temperature between 59 to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. Cool enough for your body to relax, but not so cold that it causes discomfort. Crack a window open, use a small fan, or set your air conditioner to a moderate level. Avoid heavy blankets or thick pajamas. A lightweight, breathable blanket can regulate temperature far better than any device. Number 8. Going to bed right after a hot bath or long foot soak. Ruth had a calming nightly ritual, soaking her feet in hot water before bed. It helped her relax and sleep better. On colder nights, she would even take a hot shower right afterward and jump straight into bed to stay warm. But one night, as soon as she lay down, she felt dizzy, lightheaded, and then everything went black. The next morning, her son found her unconscious. He called 911 in a panic. No one expected that something as seemingly healthy as a hot bath at night could turn dangerous, especially for seniors. When we bathe in hot water, our blood vessels dilate to release heat. This causes a rapid drop in blood pressure. If an older adult lies down immediately afterward, blood tends to pool in the lower body, leaving less blood available to the brain. The result? Temporary brain hypoxia, dizziness, fainting, or even a silent stroke during sleep. The risk is even higher for those with heart issues, low blood pressure, or balance disorders. Moreover, after a hot shower or soak, the body remains in a high heat state. But to sleep well, it needs to cool down gradually. When that cooling process is interrupted, it disrupts the sleep cycle. You might wake up in the night feeling tired, short of breath, or strangely restless, without knowing why. Sadly, many have passed away in their sleep, all because they went to bed immediately after a hot soak or bath, without allowing their body to stabilize. If you want to keep this habit, do it at least 1 to 2 hours before bed. Use warm, not hot, water. Around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. Afterward, dry off thoroughly. Sit and rest in a warm room. Take deep breaths and drink a bit of warm water to help your circulation stabilize before you head to bed. For those with heart conditions, low blood pressure, or a history of dizziness when changing positions, avoid late-night showers or soaking your feet for too long. Sometimes just a few careless minutes can lead to irreversible outcomes. Just one small habit done wrong can be all it takes to trigger something devastating while you sleep. It may sound dramatic, But this is the reality for thousands of families every year. You've spent a lifetime building, caring, giving to your children, your loved ones, your community. Please don't let it all slip away because of one wrong night. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on your routines. Small adjustments to what seem like tiny habits might be the difference between thriving tomorrow or not waking up at all. Now, I want you to be part of a mindful, supportive community. Leave a comment below and share. Have you ever made one of these 8 dangerous sleep mistakes? Or just write a simple affirmation like, "Each day, I'm taking steps to protect my health and my life." And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This kind of knowledge, simple yet life-saving, might be exactly what someone out there needs to hear. Who knows? You could be saving a life just by sharing this at the right time. I'll see you in the next video, where we keep living longer, healthier, and more meaningfully together.